Hello, it's Martin from the Zen Gateway. Just thought I'd pop up and tell you what we've been up to this week. So if you go onto the Zen Gateway, you'll find that we've posted up 3 items, as we normally do each week. One is from our series called Images of Truth, which in this case we're looking at a lovely Thai image of the Buddha to come, Maitreya, who was the focus of his own veneration cult in the early days of Mahayana Buddhism. And in Thailand, in fact, the Bodhisattvas, of which Maitreya is one until he becomes the Buddha in a future incarnation, so the legend goes, Bodhisattvas themselves became the focus of their own cult and were extremely popular, in some cases even more popular than Buddhas, going by the number of Bodhisattva statues that have been found there. Another item that we've had is in our Exercises in Mindfulness series, in which case we've been looking at the Mahayana practice formulation known as the 6 paramitas. These are the practices necessary in order to attain full and perfect enlightenment, in other words, Buddhahood itself. And we've reached the 3rd one, which is called Patient Endurance. Perhaps not the most popular title, Patient Endurance, but actually, if we take the saying of Zen Master Dai, who said that if you want resilience, if you want strength, inner strength, then first you've got to conserve it. In other words, that we already have this strength, but we tend to fritter it away through our impulses, through our thought streams, through our daydreams, through our liking and not liking, etc. And that if we restrain the energy that goes into these mental formations, then we can turn it back and develop our own resilience, our own inner strength. So that's Exercises in Mindfulness for this week. The 3rd one is a blog piece, actually, that I wrote following a short story that I read by the American writer Ursula Le Guin, who was an author that I remember from my early adulthood, actually, because she wrote a famous series of stories called the Earthsea trilogies. This was Harry Potter before Harry Potter, in fact. But she wrote, she was a feminist and an anarchist as well, and also interested in both Taoism and Buddhism. And she wrote a short story called The Ones Who Leave Omelas. And Omelas is a sort of fantasy city, which is sort of perfect. It's an idyll. But it has a very dark secret at its core. And in this story, she explores the moral dilemma that what do you do when you find yourself living in a society that has its own security and its own plenty at the expense of the suffering of others. And it's a fascinating story in itself, and obviously has a strong political message. But in this blog piece, we look at it through the lens of Huayan Buddhism, Huayan, the Chinese philosophical school that underpins the Zen school. And so obviously very relevant for us. And one of the main sutras that it uses is called the Avatamsaka Sutra. And the Avatamsaka Sutra has in it a wonderful analogy known as Indra's net, which shows the interdependence of all things one to another. And often this is, this is the sort of underlying image that was used for that very 60s notion of cosmic consciousness, where all consciousness is interconnected and related together throughout the whole universe. Wonderful, awesome concept, but there's a dark side to that as well that's worth contemplating, and that is the ethical challenge that it makes, because it means that we are all connected as well to the good and the evil that takes place in the world. So the question is, can we ever truly leave behind a city like Omelas if we chose to? Anyway, that's the theme that's explored this week. You can go over to the zengateway.com and you'll find those articles there. And you might also like to sign up to our newsletter, which goes out once a week, advising you on all the things that we've posted up over the previous 7 days. All right, look forward to talking to you all again and seeing you on the Zen Gateway soon. Bye-bye.